Hello, I'm Austin Cowley, and today we're going to show you how to unbox your equipment for working from home and also how to put it together. Alright, so the first step you're going to do is you're going to come to your phone on your desk. You're going to flip it over and unplug each network cable by pinching it at the end and removing. Once those are unplugged, you're going to grab the phone and the headset and take it with you. So the first item that we have is your Meraki device. This is going to allow you to get your network from the office into your home. You will be given 3 network cables that will be used for plugging into the Meraki device into your phone, your thin client, and your home router. This is the power supply for the Meraki device. A keyboard, a mouse, a power strip, power for your thin client, and your thin client. Alright, so now we're going to start unboxing your Meraki device. You should have had a little bag that inside has one piece of the power cable that will be plugged into the back of your Meraki device. There's one. Now we're going to go ahead and unpack. Here's the actual Meraki device. Your Ethernet cable. The other half of your power supply. Go ahead and save the box for later use, as when you bring your equipment back, we will want to make sure that you're able to pack it. So keep it in a safe spot. So now we're going to go ahead and we're going to plug in the Meraki to power. Go ahead and take this end of the power and plug it into this side. Take this and plug it into your power strip, such. Go ahead and extend these little arms, and you're going to take this end of the power and you're going to plug it in right here. Now you're going to take your Ethernet cable, you're going to take one end, you're going to plug in to port number 1 where it says internet, and you're going to take the other end of your cable and plug that in to your router over here. Now that you've done that, you're going to wait 3 to 5 minutes so that your Meraki device can power on. The little light down here is going to go through several color changes. Once it is a solid white color, you are good to start continuing to the next steps. Alright, now that the port has turned white on your device, go ahead and take your thin client and take your Ethernet cable. You're going to take one end and plug it into the back of the thin client right there. And then you're going to take the other end of the Ethernet and take your Meraki device and you're going to plug it right in directly to port 10. Such. And then for your next step, we're going to plug your phone in. So go ahead and grab your Ethernet cable, and you're going to take it and you're going to plug it right next to the port of the headset, like such. Once you've done that, you're going to take the other end of that same Ethernet cable and you're going to plug it into port 12. That will complete your setup with the Meraki device. Then we are going to take the power supply for the thin client. You're going to plug it into the thin right here. And then take the other end and plug it into the power supply. This will allow you to to work on just as if you were working in the office at home. Alright, so in your box you should have another box that is for your monitors. It is your dual monitor mount kit. For those of you that do not have that in your box, you'll want to reference our other video that is for monitors that come with a stand. Alright, so this is your dual monitor kit. Go ahead and go open it up, and we're going to start pulling everything out of it. The bottom of the stand, your instructions, some screws and some screwdrivers in there, the arms that go with it, plastic clips and more Allen wrenches. This goes on the end of your monitor. For your secondary monitor, and that should be everything that's in the box. And again, please make sure you keep all the boxes put into a safe spot, as you'll need to bring it back with all the equipment. Alright, so go ahead and start by grabbing your instructions on getting this set up, and make sure it's handy. You're going to want to start with your base collar, and your pole guide, cable guide. You will then place the pole cable guide on first, like so, and then place the base of the collar on. You'll then start to screw in the base. If you have issues, you might need to take your smaller Allen wrench and just make sure that this is loose enough for you to tighten in the base in. Once it's firmly tight, go ahead and take that Allen wrench again and tighten these small screws on the bottom just to make sure it's secured. And go ahead and slide down your base cover and your cable guide. Okay, so for your next step, you're going to want to take your little Allen wrench and flip it over. You want to take the flat edge to loosen this top little collar to the desired height that you want it. Alright, so for the next piece, you're going to take this little locking head assembly. You're going to take your medium-sized Allen wrench, and you're going to take each one of these 4 screws out. Alright, so now you're going to take these longer poles that you're going to then attach to that same piece. And then take those same screws that you just pulled out and put them back in. So now that's what it should look like when it's all done. Okay. So for step 4, you're going to want to grab your Visa plates. You're going to slide each one onto the end of each arm. And you're going to take that same Allen wrench that you had before, and you're going to go ahead and so that they don't move.
Once you've finished that, go ahead and take your end caps and place them on the end, like such, on each side. Finally, now you're going to take the pole and you're going to slide it on top toward the desired height, and then you will take that same Allen wrench and tighten it on the back once you have it where you want it to be. Now it's on there safe and tight. Finally, you have a few cable clips that you can place on these monitor arms. They snap right on. That will help manage cables once your monitors have been set up and you have your cables running. All right, now that we've built our monitor stand on with the box that you received, you should have received 2 monitor boxes. That look like this. We're gonna go ahead and open it now and go through the items that are in it. You should have a display cable, a power cable. You might have these stands in with the monitor. You won't need these today. Just go ahead and put those aside. And at the bottom, you should have a monitor. Let's go ahead and push that box aside. Your monitor is going to have 4 screws on the back, so you're going to want a Phillips headed screwdriver. You want to go ahead and start taking those screws out. And now you're going to want to push this aside a little bit and grab your monitor stand. And go ahead and grab your monitor. I like to put two of the screwdrivers just a little bit out on the top, so then these little edges on the stand, the monitor can sit, and it makes it a little easier to get the monitor mounted. The monitor should sit just like such. Go ahead and take those other 2 screws that you took out and put them in the bottom. And once in, you'll want to grab that Phillips headed screwdriver and start tightening them in. So you can see the monitor is now secured on that side, so one side is done. We're just going to do the same thing, take the 4 screwdrivers out of the back. And we're just gonna loosen the top two so that again we can just kind of lay it nicely onto the top two holes there. And go ahead and bring it over here. Just gonna do the same thing. Put the screw that you just took out back in and start tightening it in. Do one on top and one on bottom, and then start doing the last two. So your finished product should look something like this. Alright, so now we're going to want to grab the display cables, and you're going to want to take the monitor. You can turn it just a slight bit, and if you see there's the display port right there, you're going to plug one end of that display cable in there, and then you're going to take the other end and you're going to plug it in to one of the display port spots on the thin client. And then for the other monitor, we're going to do the same thing. We're going to take one end of the display cable and we're going to plug it in on that end, and then we're going to take the other end and bring it over here to the thin client and get it plugged in right there in the last spot for the monitors. Okay, and so now we have our power cables. You're going to want to take this end and you're going to want to plug it in over on the other side of the monitor, and then go ahead and then take this end and plug it into the power strip that you plugged in earlier. Same thing for the other monitor. Take the power cable, plug it in on the other side, take the other end and plug it directly into the power strip. All right, and for the last step, we're going to show you how to plug in your keyboard and your mouse. You're going to take the USB from the keyboard and plug it in here in the USB slots. Now I'm going to take the mouse and do the same and plug it in right there. You've now set up all of the equipment. Please remember that this is Freedom's equipment and you're responsible for keeping it safe, and that it comes back when you return from working from home in good standing. Alright, now that you've completed your work from home setup, just one disclaimer is that at the end of the night we ask that you don't power down any of your equipment. It may cause issues in the morning when you power it back on. So please do not power down equipment unless otherwise told to do so. Alright, that concludes our setup instructions. Please use your normal login that you use every day to log into the equipment. If you have any issues or questions, please contact the service desk.